from NBC News. This is Today with Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda Kotb.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're on air.
Hi, welcome to the Today Show with Kathy Lee and Hoda. My name is Kathy Lee and this is Hoda.
Hello.
And we just started a book club, and the book we just read was Wonder by R.J. Palacios. Hoda, can you tell us a little about what this book was about?
Well, let me first tell you, it was New York Times bestseller. Amazing book. It brought me to tears more than once, I must say. Thank you. We love drinking wine in the morning. Anyways, this book takes the perspective of so many people affected by this young boy named August Pullman. August has a genetic mutation, I think, in his face, and he doesn't look like a typical child.
And the back of the book says, I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. So there are never any pictures of what this boy actually looks like, but the author leaves it up to us as readers to just imagine the mutations that he was born with.
Yep, and then August starts school in the 6th grade, I believe, and it just goes through all the struggles he faces trying to fit in and other people's reactions to August, because not a lot of people have been affected with something like that.
Yes, so this actually goes into the real life account of how he felt and how the people around him were affected by his mutation. So today we actually got the privilege to interview Augie himself, his parents, the principal of the school, and Augie's sister, Via. So you guys are in for a real treat today because we have first-hand accounts of interviews with these people.
Yes, you guys won't be disappointed, so let's roll it. So what is it like having August as a child?
It has its ups and downs. He's a kind-hearted boy. Means well, but you know, with his medical condition, he's had a lot of surgeries, and it's been difficult to watch him suffer physically and mentally because he feels different, and you know, he doesn't look like a lot of kids his age. Typical child, and then financially it's difficult.
So how many surgeries has August had?
I think it's about 27.
Yes, he said 27 now.
We'd have to look it up, but you can't keep them all straight. I mean, there's revisions and additions, and it never stops, frankly. I mean, he's going to have to have a lot more before, you know, it's all said and done.
So what is August's diagnosis?
The doctors aren't really sure. He's kind of a medical miracle. It's some kind of a gene mutation, but it's in the mandibular area, so it's kind of they've said it's like a mandibular disorder, but I'm not sure what the real technical medical name is.
All right. So why didn't August start school until 6th grade?
Well, with all his surgeries, it took a lot of time for him physically to recoup, and he you know, I think it was a problem with him trying to feel like to fit in with kids at his age, and so we kind of thought that it would be better to start him later, and so we had some other alternative schooling for him.
All right. So before school, what measures did you guys take to try to get him socially?
We would take him to the park, in the library, family,
He had a friend too when he was younger that he, you know, was really close to, and you know, kind of treated him just like any other friend, and but unfortunately he moved away, and so it's been hard. You know, when he was younger, Augie liked to wear like an astronaut kind of helmet out in public, and he really kind of used that as a crutch, you know, so he, you know, people wouldn't look at him differently in his mind. But unfortunately, you know, after one of his surgeries, that was lost, and so we've tried to keep that phased out, and you know, we don't want him to have to use that sort of a coping mechanism.
Mr. Tushman, as principal, how were you involved in the transition with Augie?
Well, his parents contacted me about enrolling. I thought it'd be a great opportunity for Augie, but almost a better opportunity for our school. It takes a great person to look beyond someone's appearance, despite what their peers say, especially in middle school. I'm very proud of Augie for enduring some harsh realities that come with being in middle school. I'm also proud of the school for eventually looking at Augie for what he truly is, a great kid.
Sylvia, what are some of the struggles you face by having Augie as your brother?
Well, when I got to my new school, I didn't really invite him anywhere because I was afraid of what other people would think. I mean, sometimes I get sick of people knowing me as the girl with the freak as a brother. And my parents have to spend a lot of time with him because of all the surgeries and everything that is going on. And I mean, there are times I wish he looked typical, but I wouldn't have Augie any other way.
What was your reaction when your parents told you you would be attending school?
I was terrified. I didn't talk to any of the other students. The only person I talked to was the principal.
Did you go out in the community much before you went to school?
No. When I was little, I would always wear this helmet, but if my parents told me to, I would have to. And I didn't want people to make disgusting faces at me.
So, once you went to school, how were your first few days of school?
Not good. No one would touch me. No one would sit by me. I felt like I was a disease. And I figured out there was this game going on. If you touched me, you would get the disease.
Was it hard to make friends?
At first it was. Jack was my only friend. Once people started to really get to know me, it wasn't very hard at all. The first time I realized I had true friends was on an overnight school trip. We were all watching a movie outside with different schools. A bunch of kids were making fun of me and pushing me around, calling me a monster. When some of the guys in my class saw what was going on, they stepped in and protected Jack and I. They even got in a fight for us. It was awesome.
By the end, how were your last few days of school?
Amazing. I had so many friends in just one school year. I feel like everyone had looked past my face and had finally seen me. Now when I go to school, I feel like a typical kid.
So Augie, what do you want people to know about you?
I'm ordinary and I am just like every other kid.
Wow, that is such a touching story, and I'm so glad that all of us could really get in the lives of August Pullman and people who are affected by him.
Now I would like to read part of the story at the end. Augie receives an award at the very end of the year, and this kind of just goes into the head of what Augie's really thinking when he receives this award. I wasn't really sure why I got this medal. No, that's not true. I knew why. It's like people you see sometimes, and you can't imagine what it would be like to be that person, whether it's somebody in a wheelchair or somebody who can't talk. Only I know that I am that person to other people, maybe to every single person in that whole auditorium. To me, though, I'm just me, an ordinary kid. But hey, if you want to give me an award for being me, that's okay. I'll take it.
That's really great. So, I really encourage every one of you to go out and buy this book. It's great. You can have discussion groups, book groups, anything to drink some more wine. You know?
That is so true.
Okay, so now we have the privilege of talking via web with Dr. Lorna Levitt's class at Morningside College. It's in Sioux City, Iowa, kind of a small town, but it's really great.
It is a great school. I've visited there many times. So now we'd like to have a discussion with Dr. Levitt's class about, in class, we heard they've been talking about the different categories of SPED under IDEA. Yep. And so we kind of like to ask the class, what category do you think Augie would be under if he had to be placed in a category?
Yep.
So Dr. Levitt, we'll start out with you.